it's me again. And yeah, back with another full card prediction video. But once again, before we get into the prediction video, just some more, I guess, key information. If any fight falls out, check the description, check the comment section, comment, whatever you want to go by. Either way, check the comment section down below, check the description down below, and I will have a video, short video update. Well, not updating if a fight falls out, but if a new fight appears, like the main event falls out, well, main event falls out, I'm gonna predict the whole card again. But if it's like a co-main event, first fight of the card, fifth fight of the card, I'll make a prediction video on the fight, the new fight, and I'll link it in the description, and I'll link it in the comment section. So, and also I will leave my prediction, like text my prediction there as well in the description. So yeah, you'll have multiple ways to see, my prediction for the new fight. If there's a new fight added to the card, or yeah, if a fight falls off the card, I'm not doing nothing. I'm just gonna say canceled for that fight, but I'm not gonna make a whole new video because the fight fell out. It'd be a case of a new fight came on. I would add stuff. In the new main event, I would likely make a whole new video if it's a new main event. But yeah, as always, again, check the description, check the comment section, and if that's not enough, my IG is the same name as on here, King of Crackdown 5095. You can message me on IG, follow me, add me on IG. Same for TikTok. Follow me on TikTok, message me, whatever. Follow, like my videos, share them, repost them, whatever. Twitter, same thing. And you can join the Discord as well. If you want a link, just let me know. I'll send you a link. And yeah, there's many ways to reach me if you got any extra questions. For the most part. Yeah, reasonable questions. But yeah. Check the description, comment section if any fight falls out and I had to make a new prediction. Yeah, check the description, check the comment section. And last but not least, most importantly, you guys once again, You guys once again reached the goal of getting the last video to 100 likes. And another key bit of information for that last video is, in the last video, I gave one prediction, well, not one prediction, I gave one parlay for that card and also gave a parlay for a future card. So I'm going to give you in total really 3 parlays for this week and maybe a little bit extended past this week. But yeah, 3 parlays really, because the other parlay you still can play. The first parlay cash, but the other parlay in that video was not even for that card. So you could go back to the other video, the Strickland versus Duplessis, Duplessis versus Strickland full card prediction video, and look at the beginning of the video and get that parlay, the other parlay that hasn't, is still in play. And none of the fights on that parlay have even happened yet. You could get that parlay, and also we'll drop 2 parlays additionally to that parlay in this video right here. So, yeah, after 3 minutes of yapping your ear off, here is the parlays for this video. So, and now that you've seen that, let's get on to the full card prediction video. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'll be predicting the full card of fights for UFC Fight Night, Cannonier versus Rodrigues. So without further ado, let's get to our first fight on the card. So full card predictions, predicting all the fights on the card. And yeah, let's get into it. So, yeah, first fight of the night we have in the welterweight division. We got Gabriel Bonfim versus Chaos Williams. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going low confidence. Gabriel Bonfim to beat Chaos Williams. Very close fight on paper. Could go a lot of ways, but most likely be a fight I'm going to avoid on the betting side, most likely. But yeah, going Bonfim to beat Chaos Williams. I feel like when you look at Bonfim's loss to, what's his name? Dalby. Dalby had a certain style. He's a veteran. He's tough. He's durable. He has been in many different organizations. He has fought at a high level, not just in the UFC. And he has a style and experience to really smother Bonfim and make Bonfim have to work and could exhaust Bonfim and, exploit that weakness in the young fighter's game. But I think Bonfim has learned from that fight and he has made adjustments. Not to say that he's fully made a full 180 or whatever, or full 180. But I think he has made adjustments. I think he has addressed that enough to beat Chaos Williams. And also, it's not like Chaos Williams is You know, that real cerebral, high IQ, savvy, tough veteran that's going to try to really smother you, throw a lot of short punches and initiate clinches and try to exhaust you and wear you down. That's not Chaos Williams. Like, he's more of a look to explode and hit you with something big. Not to say that that's all he is. He has mixed and takedowns as well. He's a full mixed martial artist, but again, he's not that real cerebral fighter that's gonna again try to smother you and come with a game plan to exhaust you and then capitalize. It could happen for sure. He is tough. He is a killer. He is experienced. He's a veteran. But again, that's not going to be. I don't really expect him to really come with that game plan or even follow through that game plan. I feel like he's going to be trying to crack Bonfim with big shots, and I think it's going to be a good fight. But I think Bonfim is going to be able to exploit Williams' style to set up his own takedowns when Williams is looking for these big shots, catch him coming in, take him down, drag him to the mat, take some time off the clock, maybe look to establish some control, some ground and pound, chase some subs, maybe. But I think Williams will be game. I think it'll be a very close competitive fight, probably like a split decision type fight. But I think Bonfim will be doing a better job of mixing it up. I think he'll have the cleaner striking. Williams will maybe land the bigger shots overall, I guess. Maybe there. But I do think Bonfim will do a better job of mixing up high, low, mid, and also mixing the takedowns, getting the control, chasing submissions. Whereas Williams maybe might go for one takedown, maybe two maximum. Limited success, limited damage, or anything of note really done with his takedowns, except to really mix it up against Bonfim enough that maybe he'll try to set up a strike off the takedown threat or the mixing up of the takedown. But again, it's not like I'm not expecting him to get no really pass no positions, like get no half guard, pass the mount, drop no ground and pound of significant damage, no submission threats. Again, it's more so just to take you down to mix it up, whereas Bonfim will take you down to mix it up, and he'll be able to do damage, get significant control time from there. Again, I probably see Williams maybe go for two takedowns. I don't think Williams gonna get a takedown in this fight. Maybe if he hurts him, then he gets a takedown, maybe. But I can't really see Williams get a takedown here, like without some other factor being involved. So I don't see Williams getting no takedown. I see him going for maybe two, and probably not even with the greatest effort or the greatest setup. Securing none, maybe one maximum. Probably held to about maybe a minute of control time throughout 15 minutes of fight. But yeah, I think Bonfim will do a better job of mixing it up, be more technical, be sharp, show the growth from that loss that he had, and be able to grind out a decision over a very game and tough and dangerous Chaos Williams. So in this one, I have Gabriel Bonfim via decision. Now to our next fight. We have in the women's strawweight division, we got Angela Hill versus Caitlin Souza. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going low confidence Angela Hill to beat Caitlin Souza. And this is a tough fight. Hill is very game, and she has done well against this level of competition for years now. Like, the certain level where Hill gets to where she loses. Like, she reaches a certain level, like those like top 10 fighters and stuff, or those people that are going to be top 10. She kind of loses those fighters, or those championship, I guess, adjacent fighters. Like, they maybe don't have title belts around them, maybe, or at the time they don't have belts. But yeah, what Hill loses to, and like she does pretty well against strikers, especially like the lower level, young up and coming striker like Caitlin Souza or whatever. Like, she beat Loma Lukabami, who's one of the best strikers in the weight class. But I think when she beat Ford, she was like 25, 26, and Hill was like 36 or something. And Souza, again, another young fighter. I think was sub 25. She's short, stocky, and powerful. But I think Hill's a much more technical striker. Hill's grappling has been improving a lot. I think she should be able to control the grappling battle as far as like position wise. And I think she'll do a good job of addressing any submission threats from Souza. And I really feel like Souza winning this fight will either come down to landing the bigger shots. I mean, all her paths to victory come down to landing the bigger shots. Like, whether it be the bigger shots that's going to set up her finishing Hill, like clubbing, subbing her, or knocking her out, or the fact that maybe the judge is going to be more receptive to Souza being able to keep up enough with Hill and land the heavier shots, or be the one like pressing. Like, it all kind of comes down to Souza being able to get Hill to, be effective with her power, essentially. But I think Hill will do a good job of, being mobile, putting up volume, not getting hit too much with big shots, or not getting hit flush with the big shots. And then also doing a good job of tying Souza up, landing knees to the body, landing, just elbows in the clinch. Doing what Hill does, and maybe even put her in, getting her in the clinch, near to the body, pin her against the cage at times to, kind of wear Souza down, take some pop off her punches, take away some of that explosive ability, some of that power, and just use that veteran experience, veteran skill to be able to extend Souza, grind her out, and beat her by decision here. So In this one, I have Angela Hill via decision. All right, let's see. Now to our next fight, we have in the flyweight division, we got Rafael Estevam versus Jesus Aguilar. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going low confidence Rafael. I'm gonna say something like that. Yeah, low confidence Rafael Estevam to beat Jesus Aguilar. And yeah, Aguilar will be game. Estevam could be higher confidence, but it is what it is. It's not like we're dealing with such a proven commodity. Like, this guy's been around the UFC for 5 years. He's beat so and so, and he's beaten in this stage that way. He did lose once, but it was this and that. And Aguilar just ain't that. Yeah, that's not the case. Both these guys are still relatively, in my opinion, I guess, people that you need to gather intel on. But I will go Rafael Estevam. I'll lean decision for Estevam. I think he could potentially get a submission stoppage, but yeah. I feel like Rafael Estevam has good enough striking to be able to hold his own with Aguilar. I don't feel like Aguilar is such a technical striker, but he does have more power and is more lethal on the feet. But I think Estevam is competent enough on the feet to be able to hold his own there. And I don't think Aguilar has the greatest takedown defense, and also the fact that one of his, matter of fact, his go-to finishing move is the guillotine, and that is a move that, against a high-level grappler like Estevam is, it can end up with you on bottom and in compromised positions. Well, I'm not gonna say compromised position, but it could end up with you going for I guess high risk, high reward type situation. And if you don't get the guillotine, especially against a high level grappler, you end up on bottom. And even his last fight, I picked him. He won, great and all, but I wasn't so impressed with his performance. I think he was looking the best on the feet as he could have. He was giving up way too many takedowns, but eventually he was able to find a submission. But that was against a guy that's nowhere near the skill level of Estevam. And Estevam is much bigger. I think Estevam had like 4 inches of height, like 4 inches of reach, physically bigger, and the better grappler. And I think he will be able to take advantage of Aguilar's love of the guillotine, get on top, get him down. I also think Aguilar don't have the best takedown. He don't have the best takedown defense. He chases the guillotine a lot. Estevam has the skill and size and experience to be able to exploit that, take him down, defend the guillotine, advance, and just really control him throughout the fight. And again, I can see Estevam getting a stoppage here, but I will lean decision. But hey, betting wise, if a stoppage is plus money, I might roll the dice on that. But yeah, prediction wise, I'll say Estevam decision. I think he'll be able to exploit Aguilar's love of the guillotine and lack of takedown defense and score takedowns, use his strength, his size, and his experience and his skill in BJJ to neutralize Aguilar and grind him out to a decision victory. So in this one, I had Rafael Estevam via decision. All right. Let's see. All right. Now to our next fight. We have in the heavyweight division, we got Walter Walker versus Don'Tale Mayes. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going low confidence Walter Walker to beat Don'Tale Mayes. And there's really no reason for me to be all like high confidence or about a lot of these matchups. And this is going to be another one of these ones. First off, it's a heavyweight fight. Secondly, these are realistically 2 lower tier heavyweights. Don'Tale Mayes is never going to be a high tier or even really middle tier heavyweight. But I guess given how, limited this division is, I guess you could say he is a middle tier heavyweight. But yeah, in my opinion, you get what I'm saying. But yeah, Don'Tale Mayes has never historically had the greatest takedown offense or historically the greatest grappling. Walter Walker, more so like a striker versus grappling match, even though both guys can mix it up. Don'Tale Mayes is going to look to strike. Walter Walker is going to look to grapple. I can definitely see both guys having success in both categories. I can see Walter Walker clipping Mayes. I can see Mayes scoring a takedown of Walter Walker. But I'll go Walter Walker here. I think he'll be able to apply the pressure to Mayes, like get in on the takedown, drag him to the mat, and then be very heavy on top, break Mayes down over the course of the first round, and then get a second round TKO, in the second round. Like drag him down again, advance, start to drop a big round and pound on him, break Don'Tale Mayes down, and get the second round TKO. So, or I could go to a very ugly split decision, which is most likely, but I'll say second round TKO for Walter Walker. So, in this one, I got Walter Walker via second round TKO. Now to our next fight. We have in the bantamweight division, we got Vince Morales versus, why am I saying it like that? Vince Morales versus Elijah Smith. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going low confidence Elijah Smith to beat Vince Morales. And this is definitely a fight where No, you got a promising young fighter, Elijah Smith, but is he really that promising versus a savvy veteran who just can't seem to, get a bone or catch a bone or whatever the saying is. But he's in the perfect place to pull off an upset against Smith. That really shouldn't even be upset, and this really should be a pick 'em odds fight because Smith literally for like a one-dimensional, low-skilled, tough guy, low-skilled, undersized, tough guy, and he was picking apart. But when the going got tough, Elijah Smith started to check out. Like the guy kept taking what was given to him, and Elijah Smith just like mentally broke in that fight. It was if the fight wasn't like 2 more rounds, he probably would have got stopped. But nonetheless, it was only a 3-round fight, contender series. I don't know how he even got a contract off that fight. That was really a terrible performance to get a contract off. But hey, they gave it to him. And there's been people that have put on way better performances than that didn't get contracts. But he got a contract for barely eking by a one-dimensional punching bag. That's embarrassing. And Vince Morales, as we know, is very skilled. He has a win over what's his name, Zahabi, not Faraz, but whatever his brother name, Amir Zahabi, something like that. But yeah, Morales is definitely skilled, and he has had close fight with not Miles Johns, but you get it. He's been there with some solid guys. He's beat some solid guys. He's lost to some close fights with some solid guys. It's only really been like a couple people that really put the beating on him, and that was like Chris Gutierrez and Jonathan Martinez and maybe another fighter. But for the most part, he has been going to close decision losses in the UFC. And outside the people that really training partners and very dangerous calf kickers, nobody really has beat him up as bad as those guys. Everybody's been like close, eeky decisions, whether he wins or loses them. And Elijah Smith is definitely in that category and probably one of the lowest skill fighters that he has ever fought in his career. Not to say that Elijah Smith can't get better. Not to say that he's not skilled in his own right, but I'm just saying he has fought legit veterans. He has not just been fighting contender series rookies. But yeah, as a matter of fact, the last time he did fight a contender series guy, he knocked him out. The guy came off, was a very bright prospect coming off a contender series. He knocked him out. So, hey, might be some more evidence there. But I will go Elijah Smith played a little bit safe here. And really the safe thing for me here, I'm definitely not going to bet on this fight as far as picking a fighter. But I will go Elijah Smith. I think he'll make the adjustments. I think maybe that last fight on the contender series will have been a wake-up call for him that he needs to make adjustments, improvements. He's seen his brother. I'm not his brother. He's seen his father come in the UFC and, maybe not have the best career in the UFC. And, he wants to build upon that and extend that legacy and make something of himself. He's committed and hungry. And definitely the skills and talent is there. So I think he'll make those adjustments, fight a clean fight. I think it'll be a close fight. But I think he'll be able to win it. Win the wrestling ever so slightly. Probably be throwing the harder shots. Be the younger, hungrier guy, pushing more. Whereas Morales, he can say what he wants, but I think Morales deep down know like he's been as far as he's gonna go. He might be able to pick up some upsets here and there, but he knows he's not really good enough to stick in the UFC for a long period of time and really string wins together like that. So his ceiling has already been established where Smith's ceiling has not, and Smith is going to have more hunger, whereas close fight Morales is probably going to check out and allow Smith to just give him that extra work to edge the fight. But I see this fight going to a close decision. Learning experience for Smith, another chance to get better, to evolve, but Smith will show the growth. Close competitive fight, but Smith doing enough to get his hand raised. So in this one, I have Elijah Smith via decision. All right, now to our next fight. I don't know if I'm dragging too much, but next fight we had, or am I dragging too much or am I talking too fast? It's one or the other, but I'm trying to tone it down. And I am talking a whole lot for these predictions, even though it don't seem like it time-wise, but yeah. Next fight, bantamweight, women's bantamweight division, we got Julia Avila versus Jacqueline Cavalcanti. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going average confidence. Jacqueline Cavalcanti to beat Julia Avila. And at this point, what does Julia Avila really do better than Cavalcanti? Like, she was a bright, promising prospect like a decade ago. Came to UFC, won a couple fights. I think maybe injuries, contracts, whatever the case was. Like, her career halted for multiple reasons. But yeah, like, she has since faded. It's not like she's still this undefeated great prospect. No, I think her last fight was she got submitted by Miesha Tate. And Miesha Tate had retired for years. So again, Avila, the floor has passed her by. Really no upside here. I think Cavalcanti's bigger. She's younger. She's a better striker. I think she's solid enough in the grappling department to address anything Avila has there. Avila might be the better grappler, but not enough. Old now, washed. Jacqueline Cavalcanti should be able to dictate where this fight takes place. Maybe if she was to show wrinkles in her grappling, she could do that as well. But probably more so going to be use her grappling defensively to keep it on the feet, and then just pick apart Avila for 15 minutes, probably get a stoppage. But I see Cavalcanti is more of a decisionator at this point in her career, so probably will go the distance. But yeah, Cavalcanti defending the takedowns well, picking apart in the clinch, picking apart at distance, and grind her out to a dominant, largely dominant decision. Probably like a Leon Edwards type of decision. Like you might say, oh, like it's dominant, but did she really like put the beating on her? Not really, but even a blind man could see that she was superior the whole fight. Like not running her over, but you know it's clearly who's superior in the fight. But yeah, you get what I'm going with that one. But in this one, I have Jacqueline Cavalcanti via decision. Now to our next fight, we have in the middleweight division, we got Rodolfo Vieira versus Andre Petroski. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going low confidence Rodolfo Vieira to beat Andre Petroski. And this is definitely a fight where I was looking to kind of bet, or not bet, pick, whatever, Andre Petroski here. But ultimately, I just went with Rodolfo Vieira. And in these grappling battles and stuff like this, grappler versus grappler, neither of them have been prolific strikers by any means. Leaning to the guy with the higher pedigree and the guy that has the better takedown defense percentage. Vieira still sports 100% takedown defense percentage. He has been the much more durable guy. I've seen Petroski, we seen Vieira gas like one time. That was against Hernandez. And I think he hasn't really gassed since that fight. We have seen Vieira take a lot of strikes from Chris Curtis, and even in the Hernandez fight and other fights. He's been dropped by Durden, which is not a good look. Not Durden. Brundage, not Durden. Cody Brundage, not Cody Durden. And got back up and got it done. But Petroski, I've never seen him. I've seen him come on strong and fade, but I've never seen him rally. We've seen Vieira rally. We've seen Vieira take damage. We've seen that Vieira has 100% takedown defense. The fact that he got submitted is not a good look, but yeah. Petroski's younger. That's a good thing for Petroski. But yeah, Vieira having 100% takedown defense is good for him. His high-level BJJ experience and accolades is good for him. So I think he'll do a good job of defending the takedowns of Petroski. I think if grappling cancels out, I think he can take the shots Petroski's dishes out, and I don't think Petroski can deal with eating big shots from Vieira. I feel like if Petroski, the takedown not going his way, and he starts to get hit with big shots, I feel like he's going to check out. Vieira, he might have issues with stuff early, getting going early. But I could see him rally and get going later. So a very close fight. But if either one of them needs to pull it out, I feel Vieira could do it. Where I feel like Petroski, again, it's like, it's got to be like semi or fully, you know, in his favor. It can't be a case where it's against him. Like, he can't be like he can't beat a nail at all in this fight. Because Vieira can at points rally from being a nail or play the role of a nail early and come back and get a stoppage. Where Petroski, I just don't think that's in him. Not particularly tough, not particularly durable, questionable gas tank, and it has not really improved at all. So I think Vieira, I'll say third round TKO. Very close fight early. Very close, but I feel like Vieira's going to probably crack him. Petroski's going to start to fade, and then Vieira is going to probably take him down. Petroski probably do a good job of defending the submission, but end up on bottom. Then Vieira just going to start dropping ground and pound on him, and Petroski's going to probably turn and tap the strikes. So, in this one, I have Rodolfo Vieira via third round TKO. Now to our next fight, we have in the middleweight division, we got Edmund Shahbazyan versus Dylan Budka. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going low confidence Dylan Budka to beat Edmund Shahbazyan, and the proof is really in the pudding. But by that, does that mean my confidence should be locked or high? No, it is what it is. Low confidence Dylan Budka. It's not like Dylan Budka is really that guy. But Edmund Shahbazyan's record against wrestlers, especially wrestlers that actually wrestle, is maybe like one win. You can say, oh, he beat, what's his name? He was a high school or junior college wrestler, but was he really a wrestler in MMA? Like, did he really even shoot takedowns or have good success at shooting takedowns? No, he was more so a striker, that one guy. And then outside of that, every other like wrestler, grappler, outside maybe like one fighter who, you know, he beat when he was on his come up. But since then, he has went with like 0-5 against wrestler grapplers. And Dylan Budka definitely has a heavy wrestling grappling style. We've seen him give Azamat Bukoyev a very hard fight. I think he dropped him a couple times, and he scored a couple takedowns on him. And we've seen Bukoyev come in and have a great performance. So Budka, and also we've seen Budka beat what I think Chad Honeycomb, however you say his name is, the guy that Ikram Aliskerov also fought, and he gave Ikram Aliskerov a very hard fight. And I feel like Budka did a better job against him. But hey, the Honeycomb versus Aliskerov fight was much longer ago. Not to say that Budka same level as Aliskerov at all, but Budka has, what I'm saying is Budka has fought credible competition and has put on great performances, win or lose against them. You know, he's a very credible wrestler, tough game, and he's going in there with a guy in Shahbazyan, you know, who is very skilled and very dangerous, but has performed very bad against grapplers and has not really shown any great improvements at that. And Budka, again, he's not a BJJ guy that only can pull guard. Budka is a guy that's a wrestler first, great cardio, high wrestling pace, and going to look for those takedowns. And I think it's just a matter of time for Budka starts to get Shahbazyan down and starts to grind him out. And also, Shahbazyan don't have the best cardio either, so he don't have the best wrestling defense, don't have the best cardio, don't have the best mentality. When the going gets tough, he just checks out more often than not. And I think Budka's going to be able to make the fight ugly, start to get those takedowns, start to break Shahbazyan down, probably even surprise him on the feet once Shahbazyan starts respecting the takedown too much. Maybe clip him with like a short hook or something, buckle Shahbazyan, go right back to taking him down. But I see this as a gritty, grindy decision with Budka's pressure, pace, volume, chain wrestling, being able to overwhelm Shahbazyan and grind him out to a decision victory. So in this one, I have Dylan Budka via decision. Now to our next fight, we have in the featherweight division, we got Jose Delgado versus Conor Matthews. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going low confidence, Jose Delgado to beat Conor Matthews. And Matthews sort of kind of is a fighter that can be a little bit annoying. Like, he doesn't lose exactly when you want him to lose, doesn't exactly win when you want him to win kind of guy. But yeah, he is coming off a knockout loss versus a guy that's not even really that big of a puncher. Jose Delgado is a very lethal striker, very long, very technical on the feet, underrated grappling as well. The grappling still has some question marks to it, but I think it's at a good enough level where I feel like he can address the grappling of Matthews, especially with Matthews with his back once again against the wall, coming off a knockout loss. And we know Jose Delgado is a finisher, lethal, long, lethal finisher. And I think Jose Delgado will be able to break Matthews down. And I think he stops him late in the first round. So I think he'll be able to address the grappling, put the combination together, break Matthews down, and stop him late in the first round. So in this one, I have Jose Delgado via first round TKO. Now to our next fight, we have in the lightweight division, we got Ismail Bonfim versus Nazim Sadykhov. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going low confidence Ismail Bonfim to beat Nazim Sadykhov. And yeah, that's a very tough fight. I haven't really seen Sadykhov use his grappling so much. I think one good trend leaning his way is the fact that Bonfim does seem to have issue with rear naked chokes. In Sadykhov, I think the most of his submissions have been by rear naked choke, even though it was against different levels of competition. Like the first guy he did it on was like 0-2 or something, or again entry level, mediocre. Just to pad his record, early on, and then he got to win over Terrence McKinney. But McKinney's a solid fighter, but McKinney is a guy that phased bad in the second round, so it's not like he did it in the first round. Like Bonfim knocked out McKinney, dominated the whole fight, and put him away early in the first. Sadykhov was getting dominated by Terrence McKinney, and then rallied in the second round when McKinney phased in the second round, and then was able to get a rear naked choke. So different things, but yeah, Sadykhov doesn't really mix in his wrestling so much and hasn't really showed great offensive wrestling for the most part. So I think Bonfim can address the wrestling of Sadykhov. I think Bonfim has much cleaner boxing than Sadykhov. So basically, I feel like Bonfim can address the grappling of Sadykhov, and I think he's the much more technical striker. Sadykhov is game, he's skilled on the feet, but I feel like he gets by a lot on the feet with toughness more than actual skill. Not to say that he doesn't have skill, but I do feel like Bonfim has much more, credible skills and more technical skills than Sadykhov. And I think he'll have much cleaner boxing, which would be a big factor here. Again, we'll be able to address the grappling enough, and we'll have the cleaner boxing. I think he'll be able to beat Sadykhov to a decision. I think it's going to be a good, close, competitive scrap, but going to favor the cleaner technique and the vaster experience of Bonfim over Sadykhov's tenacity, I guess. So, in this one, I have Ismail Bonfim via decision. Now to our next fight, we have in the co-main event, featherweight division, Calvin Kattar versus Youssef Zalal. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going average confidence Youssef Zalal to beat Calvin Kattar. Calvin Kattar is a solid fighter, but he's clearly on a bad downtrend. But it's not the first time he was on a bad downtrend. Not the first time he was going in for a striker that's supposed to beat him. You know, not too long ago he beat Giga Chikadze, and Giga Chikadze I think was even a much more advantageous position. But hey, Calvin Kattar is older than he was then, and et cetera, et cetera. And Zalal does mix it up much better than Chikadze. Chikadze definitely more so striker. Yeah, man. I'm not even gonna say more so. Chikadze is just a striker. He might have trained this and trained that, but realistically, Chikadze just purely a pure striker. Maybe to like a guy that's not UFC level, he'll mix and takedowns and do this and that. But UFC level has never really shown any great offensive wrestling. So Zalal, has solid striking, solid grappling, solid experience coming from he's trained at one of the better gyms and one of the hotter gyms right now. And Kattar is clearly on a bad downtrend. Definitely not gonna sleep fully on Kattar and be like, oh, bet the house on Zalal because this and that. Kattar is definitely very live in this fight. And even when you look at some of the losses, they were very close. Like he lost to Josh Emmett in a very close fight that he really should have won. He lost to Aljamain Sterling because Sterling purely grappled and is an amazing grappler. Is Zalal going to have the same grappling sets or grappling ability that Aljamain Sterling has? No, obviously not. It's a lot of different factors to factor in one, but Zalal is hot right now. He's trending. Kattar is pretty predictable for the most part in what he does. And this time, Kattar is not going in there for a one-dimensional fighter. He is older than he was when he fought Chikadze. So I think Zalal will do a good job of attacking the calves of Kattar as he has done with a lot of his opponents. Zalal has, especially recently. Work behind his jab and be very diverse. Like stepping knees to the body, bring knee up to the chin sometimes, use the clinch, use the calf kick, work behind the jab, and be versatile and mix in his own grappling as well. I think this will be a very good competitive scrap, but I think Zalal will be able to neutralize the jab, which is Kattar's really his biggest move on the feet. Be wise to the spinning strikes of Kattar if he tries to bring those in there as well. But yeah, essentially, I see Zalal playing the length better, playing the range better, shooting up the legs, which is going to mess up the jab of Kattar, mixing in the knees to the body when Kattar tries to close the distance, and be more versatile, like kicks, calf kicks, teep kicks, stepping knees to the body, flying knees, elbows, spinning back elbows, clinch striking, mixing the takedowns, mixing in the grappling more, and just being the more well-rounded fighter and the sharper fighter on the day and getting his hand raised over Kattar. I could definitely see a stoppage for Zalal, but I'll lean to a decision. Kattar is very tough. And yeah, this is a very competitive fight, much more than people will give it credit for. But I do think it's Yusuf Zalal's time right now, and he's only getting better, and he's only got more than enough motivation. Standing guy that he, full very close decision loss to in Taporia, reigning on top of the sport. So he's only going to get better. He's in the right place, right space of mind, right training partners, and has all the tools he needs to beat Kattar. So in this one, I have Yusuf Zalal via decision. Now to our next fight, we have in our main event, we have in the middleweight division, we got Jared Cannonier versus Gregory Rodrigues. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'll go average confidence Gregory Rodrigues to beat Jared Cannonier. One fight ago, even just one fight ago, this will probably be low confidence, but momentum is momentum. And Cannonier is clearly not on good momentum at all, and he is 40. Gregory Rodrigues, despite looking like he's 60 years old, is only like, 32 or something like that. So he's like smack dab in his prime. Big, young, strong. The biggest hitter that Cannonier, matter of fact, this might literally be the biggest hitter that Cannonier has ever fought in his career. Rodrigues is big, chisel, and he hits hard. It's not like Adesanya is really a big puncher. Imavo is not really a big puncher. Bahayo is really just getting in touch with his power in that fight. And yeah, Cannonier is coming off two fights where he took a lot of damage. Like in the Maimon fight, he took a lot of damage. It was stopped early, but he took a lot of damage. And then in the Bahayo fight, he particularly took a lot of damage. That fight should have been stopped several times. And then he just back to back going in there with these young, hungry guys. And yes, it might be a step down in competition, maybe. And Rodrigues has been chinned by lesser fighters. But yeah, which is a concern. But Rodrigues is trained with the right people. He's big, he's young, he hits hard, he's more well-rounded in his prime. Riding good momentum, whereas Cannonier is riding absolutely terrible momentum, and he's in his 40s. Like, you're riding terrible momentum. You're coming off a really a TKO loss, but it's on the books of the decision. So really 2 TKO losses back to back, and if anything, he took way more damage in his last fight than he did the fight prior to that. And yeah, I think Rodrigues just hits too hard. He's young. He'll come forward. He'll be able to break Cannonier down. And Rodrigues, unless you shut his lights out, he does have heart. It's not like Rodrigues is a guy that's chinny and has no heart. Rodrigues has hella heart. The chin and defense is just questionable, but it also has been times where he has shown great defense. His defense is kind of 50-50. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. Chin is there, sometimes it's not. But the momentum's on his side. He's big, he's young, he's well-rounded. He hits hard, high-level BJJ. Super heavy hands. Faster, sharper, bigger, taller, longer. Pretty much all the advantages. And I think he'll be able to put Cannonier out in the second round. First round might be a little bit dicey. Some couple close calls with those punches coming close or landing not as flush as they could, but still have an effect. With Rodrigues pressing him down, maybe even mixing some takedowns in there. However he has to get out of that first round, or however he has to break Cannonier down. Then eventually in the second round, he's able to find those openings on Cannonier, touch Cannonier's chin, and put him out in the second round. Mid to late second round TKO for Gregory Rodrigues. So in this one, I have Gregory Rodrigues, Robocop, via second round TKO. And going to run through the predictions real quick. Gabriel Bonfim by decision. Angela Hill by decision. Rafael Estevam by decision. Walter Walker via second round TKO. Elijah Smith, decision. Jacqueline Cavalcanti, decision. Rodolfo Vieira, third round KO or KO TKO. Dylan Bucka via decision. Jose Delgado via first round TKO. Ismail Bonfim, decision. Yusuf Zalal, decision. And last but not least, once again, Gregory Rodrigues via second round TKO. And so that concludes my 5 predictions for the 4-card fights for UFC Fight Night, Cannonier versus Rodrigues. And as always, thanks for watching. Peace out.